It's customary to study the laws of Hilchos Beis HaBechirah during the 3 weeks. We start with chapter 1, mitzvah say, Lasos Bayis LaHashem, the positive commandment to construct a house for God. Muchan liyos makribim bei hakarbanos, prepared for the sacrifices that were offered inside of it. Shenemar, as it says in the Torah, v'asu li mikdash, as God says, they shall make for me a dwelling place. And already in the Torah, we know of the Mishkan that Moses constructed. Says the Rambam, however, this was only temporary. Temporary means 40 years, 40 years in the desert. Halacha 2 says the Rambam, once the Jewish people came into the land of Israel, Himidu HaMishkan Gilgal. They now took that same Mishkan that Moses made, and they brought it to Gilgal. Arba Esrei Shana for 14 years. Shekavshu Shechalku, while they fought the wars and the battles, and after that they divided the land. And then they took the temple, the Mishkan, the Mishambo, the Shiloh, they brought it to Shiloh. Uvanavam Bayis Avanim, Ufarsu Yiriyas and Mishkan Alav, and they placed the curtains of the Mishkan upon it, upon the walls of the mikdash in Shiloh. There was no tikra, there was no roof, but there was these curtains from the Mishkan. And how many years was it there? Says the Rambam, Bishin Samach Shana Amad Mishkan B'Shiloh, it was 369 years there. Eli, when Eli HaKohen died, Chadav was destroyed, Uval Noiv, they brought it to Noiv, Uvanu Sham, Mikdash, and there they built a temple. Shmuel, and when Shmuel died, Chadav, this temple was destroyed, Uval Givon, they came to Givon, Uvanu Sham, Mikdash, and there they built a mikdash. Givon, Baal, Beis Elamim, from Givon they came to Jerusalem, and then the Rambam concludes, V'yimei Noiv Givon, Sheva v'chamishim Shana, and the days of Givon and Nov, it stood 57 years. So we have 57 years of Nov and Givon, you have 369 of Shiloh, you have 14 years of Gilgal, and then you have 40 years that the Mishkan stood in the desert. In other words, from the time the Jews left Egypt until they built the mikdash in Jerusalem was 480 years. Now, from the first Holy Temple till they built the second Holy Temple was again 480 years. Comes the question to mind, the Rambam is a book of halacha. He's a book of law, not a book of history. Why must he tell us the history of what happened when they left Egypt and how many years it stood here and there, etc., until it came to Jerusalem? Simply say, these are the laws of the temple and this is the way you should build it. But the answer is, that the Rambam says, being that the Torah tells us, there's a mitzvah for every single Jew to build a holy place for God, a holy temple for God. So therefore the Rambam says in Allah, look, I'll show you. From the moment that this commandment was given to the Jews, already they built it in the desert, and they traveled to Gilgal and then to Shiloh, etc., until they built the temple in Jerusalem. Because as long as this mitzvah was given, the Jewish people fulfilled that mitzvah every day.